Hello everyone, I'm Silent Death, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, Science Harder Campaign. It is the episode you've all been waiting for. The Dynamic Duno is going to be arriving at Duna this episode, with all the interesting things that's going to involve. First off, we need to make a little bit of adjustment. So let's focus on Duna, zoom in, get our periapsis where we want it. So without maneuvering, it's 10. So maybe something very, very tiny. I think around 25 or 30 kilometers. It's a little bit much. I guess I could just look here. That would make much more sense. That is going to be pretty difficult to get perfect. But we need to get an encounter with Ike, and this will give us an encounter with Ike if we don't slow down too much. We don't want to go flying off at this speed though, but if we can keep our apoapsis out around Ike, maybe we'll manage to get an intercept. It'll be a little bit iffy. We'll have to wait until we get inside of the thing. Okay, let's go retrograde. A little bit hard for this to turn around. Not surprisingly so. And we need to remember we can only do pretty weak burns with this vessel. That is good to know. I'm glad they spoke up. And we'll just stop right there. Then we'll fast forward to the maneuver node, or close to it anyway. Wait for it. We're not really going to worry about burning at the exact right time. We're just going to be using RCS a little bit. Mostly we're just waiting for this to get lined up. Frame rate is a little bit low due to the number of parts we have on this vessel. We have to make sure that any future things we launch out here are skippy on the parts. Okay, it's now maneuvering. Just hold. We're going to switch to fine control. We'll go look at the Duna again. We'll turn on RCS, and I think it's H. Just a little bit of a love tap here. I think that should be enough to allow us to capture. Let's go a little bit higher. And see how that works. Now then, we'll go ahead and fast forward to the intercept. I'm going to change this to be a 3-minute thing. Not 30 minutes, but 3. And we should have a whole lot of science pop up when that happens. But let's fast forward a little bit. Alright, before we get our science done, let's get our trajectories thing taken care of. We're going to be facing prograde. So complete. It doesn't seem to know. Does it need a little bit of time to update? Maybe we're just not low enough? What if we puff the RCS a little bit? Still doesn't seem to know. Okay, now we're starting to get a capture. A little bit more. Oop, bit much there. Come on, you can do it. Oop. Give it a moment to update. Doesn't take very much. A little puff. Another little puff. A little bit more. I think we're still in fine control too. Alright, I think we'll leave it like that. That should work. Hopefully we'll get an encounter with Ike at some point. So that. Let's get some science going. Is this all the stuff we have? I think we have more science than that. Thought we did. Let's see here. Should at least have a temperature scan. You move out of the way. Yeah, we have way more than that. Okay, crew report. We will keep a wood material study. Keep a crew report. Don't need two. Keep a mystery goo. Keep another mystery goo. A lot of mystery goo. Another material study. Not sure if it kept that, but... And another material study. So we don't have a thermometer? Surely we do. I'll be embarrassed if I forgot to bring the thermometer, but I know I have one on the satellites. Oh yeah, we'll go ahead and let's say Jinglong, you can do the EVA report. That data. And now it is time to attempt to do the arrow braking. So let's fast forward a little bit more. Before the Dynamic Duno hits Atmo, we have a tiny bit of a burn with one of our satellites, or one of our groups of satellites, the long-range Duna and AGExt satellites. So we'll just wait, only a 0.6 second burn. Maybe I should throttle down the engine. It's already thrust limited, okay. And we'll do that. Watch this. Okay, I think that is probably pretty good. What is your Duna periapsis? Okay, that's a little bit low. A little bit high, actually. Having a little bit of a difficulty. Let's get rid of that. And then we lost, okay, we lost that. Add a maneuver. Now then tell me, it's my AGExt periapsis, I want my Duna periapsis. There we are. But this is way different than what I thought it was. And that is not changing. Okay, let's go back the other way. Now then, if we do this, okay, getting there. .26 is close to where we want. Do we have any RCS on this? I did not think so. I have to switch back to prograde then. Actually, let's just fiddle with this once we actually get inside of this place, because then our maneuver nodes will probably work better. Let's hop back to the Dynamic Duno. Now we're going to burn a little bit anti-normal and I think anti-radial, because our trajectory thing has changed a little bit as we've gotten closer. We want to go anti-normal to try to lower it down. We're a bit above the plane of AGExt. And we'll do some near space science for Duna. Which appears to be somewhere around 125 kilometers. That seems to be the cutoff. Closing everything up before we hit the Atmo. Just over a minute until that happens. Switching us to Surface Prograde. Oh, and we completed some contracts last episode. The orbit around the sun and something else. Getting us nice and level, so hopefully the wings will counteract each other. Though I'm not sure that will actually work. I think lift says wings don't actually have an airfoil shape. It just automatically does it. So we're acting like a big bi-wing thing. Which is going to make our trajectories estimate pretty far off, because it seems to have a very tough time with anything that has lift. Trying to get some science from the upper atmosphere, but it's just not working. We're well into the atmosphere, and we're just not getting anything. For some reason, it still thinks we're in space. At least as far as the science is concerned. Frame rate here is extremely low. Trying to get a Kerbal moved to the cockpit to see if that will maybe fix our science. And there comes Ike, greeting us as it comes over the horizon. Things are actually far more stable than I was expecting. We do have a little bit of a wobble, but you can only see that at this high speed rate. No tumble or anything like our other satellite, because of course we have control and stuff. And apparently that is linked to the brake hotkey, or action group. We are slowing down a little bit, just not enough. See, it says space near Duna, even though we're at 23 kilometers, which doesn't make any sense at all. I'm not sure if that's a bug or if that's really how it's supposed to be. Now we are going to kind of try aerobraking a little bit harder. Since we're not got a capture right now, our trajectory's estimate is way off. Just extremely far off. We're still on the escape trajectory out of Duna, which is not a good thing. And we're about to exit the atmosphere, so this is not going to work that well. We shall have to do a manual burn for the capture thing, which waste of fuel, but we don't really have a choice there. We still want to get an Ike encounter. Burning. All of our engines are on full thrust, and we're still holding steady. And that looks good enough. So we'll fast forward to Ike. We've made it. Now then, let's start out with some more science. The goo feels right at home here. I don't know why. You ask the mission control if they too like Ike. The high radiation environment causes a few of the samples to glow. Looks like it would be fun to paint the rocket with this. It says that twice, and the goo still feels right at home. That should have been both of them. Maybe not. goo still feels right at home. And there's still radiation. I guess that was only 2. Okay, we'll do an EVA report now. Greetings, or gazing at Duna, you wonder whether life could... Bzz. This is mission control, situation normal, over. Damn mission control, always interrupting my philosophizing. And now, we need to circularize our orbit. Bit of a typical circularization burn. Takes a little bit longer due to us having nuclear engines. And we drift a little bit due to a little bit of asymmetry. And we're not having the RCS on to keep us steady. Shooting for a 20 kilometer periapsis, 20-25. And we get a little bit lower than I'd like, but that's close enough. We'll fast forward and start on some science. The goo likes Ike, but it is still a little creeped out by the weird terrain. Collected and recorded temperature data from the environment. High radiation, read that one. You've changed your mind about Ike. We are a little bit fickle. Alright, let's do the EVA report. You get a strange sense of deja vu. Forwarding. I don't know why they would get a sense of deja vu. Okay, we need to collect all of our science, process the experiments, and then comes the hard part. Because we have this contract, build a new surface outpost on Ike, which is big enough, has to have at least 10 Kerbols. So, we're going to have to land this whole giant thing on Ike without uncoupling anything, without any landing gear. We're going to have to land on the engines. I'm not quite sure what the hell I was thinking when I accepted this contract to do it with this craft. Probably something along the lines of, I'll figure this out later. Which makes me want to travel back in time and punch myself in the face. But that is going to be our challenge for next episode. Going to end this episode here. Like if you like. Subscribe if you're not. Leave a comment if you have anything to say. I do read all the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.